stream is going to be about 30 seconds behind what's actually taking place, okay? It just has a little bit lag of time, but we're going to get this started now. They're going to get the technology rolling.
We're good.
Okay. So I would like to welcome some of our special guests here today. We have Barbara Davenport's sons, Kyle and Avery, and two dear friends, Beth and Mark Woodard. And then for Deb Marinucci, we have her husband and her son with us this morning. So thank you so much for being here and being part of this ceremony. So I just want to start by saying Deb Marinucci and Barb Davenport are very special ladies here to our staff members as well as all of our students. They have made an impact and they have touched the lives of many of us. That is why this garden has been put into play. Part of this garden was built in 2003. But since we lost two of our staff members, we just decided that we would make it something more special in memory of both of those ladies. So as you can see, we have established a garden that is a calm place to come and reflect, to relax and enjoy while you're here at school. These ladies will never be forgotten by their Rondout family. I want to thank all the staff who donated so generously to make this garden as beautiful as it is. The donations that we got were beyond generous, and the money that we have left over is going to be used in the future for upkeeping this special place. Without all of your donations, this would never have come together. I want to thank Heather Crowley and our tech department, Chris Frenza and Brian Smith, for all of the tech support and helping make this possible. Thank you, Ms. Moisey, for helping communicate the link that we are using right now. I want to thank Krista Backman Fleischer for the many bulbs that she donated. All of those bulbs have been planted and they will either bloom later this summer or even next year. Thank you to Mr. Countryman for the birdhouses that you see and for installing all of them. His students had made these birdhouses as well. I want to thank Mrs. Hornbeck. Mrs. Hornbeck donated the dirt that we used. She bought many butterflies that are hatching still in her room. They are not ready for us today. So in place of those butterflies, Mrs. Hornbeck bought all the butterflies that you see floating around and located in our garden this morning. And as those butterflies hatch in her classroom, she will come out with her students and she will set them free here. I want to thank our garden club. Our garden club is located over here in front of my window here. These students stayed after school every Wednesday. Rain, chill, 90-degree weather, whatever it was, these students were here and they really worked hard. They dug and removed overgrowth in the garden because it was very overgrown. They hauled rocks, they weeded, they hauled dirt from across campus to here. They planted flowers and they mulched. So thank you, boys and girls, for being a big part of this. We could not have done it without you either. Thank you. Good job.
Can you take a picture of them before they leave? Or not really?
Okay. So I also want to thank all of the students, the other students. We involved so many. Mr. LeBlanc would gather and haul rocks across campus. So I want to thank those students. I took my study hall students and we went and found rocks and we brought them across campus. I want to thank all of our speakers that you see here today, including our students and of course our wonderful staff. I want to put out a big thank you to Mrs. Shea. She has been by my side during this entire project. This was a huge project that we took on. I remember weeks and countless hours into this thinking, oh my God, this is huge. My body is hurting. What am I doing? But Miss J was right there by my side and supporting me the whole way. There were nights we were here till 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. I could not have done it without you, Miss J. Thank you for being here for me. We got the job done, and I must say we are very proud and we are happy for the end result. We could not have completed this without the whole Rondout family. We are so fortunate to have such a group of people here at Rondout. I know Deb and Barb were with us the whole time. One day during my prep period, I was out here working, and a yellow butterfly just decided to have a visit. And I knew that that butterfly was here because of them. I know that Barb and Deb are beaming with joy and appreciation because of the kindness and the time that we have put into this for them. So now I would just like to take a little moment, and we're going to take a little tour of the garden with our technology. We have, and all of you can take a tour of the garden later. I'd love for you to come in and see. We have a rock that is going to have a plaque on it for Deb Marinucci. It's going to have the date she started teaching and the date that she left last year. Her picture is here with it. And then for Barb Davenport, we had a luncheon last year, which is, we do it every year, and the retirees get to speak, and her last words to us were, live for today, because tomorrow is never promised. So we had that burned in, and that's another thing I want to thank Mrs. Bogart, because Mrs. Bogart took many hours and time and put into that plaque. So thank you, Mrs. Bogart, for doing that. It's absolutely beautiful, and we have a picture here of Mrs. Davenport. And then all around the garden, we have many, many rocks that the students have painted, and that is something that Ms. Marinucci used to do with her students, so we continued to do that with them, and we had them placed in the garden throughout. We included a butterfly garden because both ladies loved butterflies, and we have a bleeding heart behind their memorials here in honor of them. And we also included goldfish. We have 5 goldfish in our garden that are hiding, but once they get established and once they learn that we're gonna feed them every day, they will start surfacing and we'll be able to see them. And like I said, the houses were from some of our students as well. And in this house right here, it's exciting because we actually have bluebirds, and I've been in this classroom my entire career, and there's only been a few times that we've had bluebirds housing in there. Usually the sparrows will take over and chase the bluebirds, but this year we actually have bluebirds and we actually have babies because I've been able to see the father bring the insects and drop it in their mouths in the house. So we have a beautiful bluebird family there. Okay, now, I am going to turn this over to our speakers. I'm going to start with Dr. B, and I will call and announce each person to come up. We have quite a few. So, yeah, sit and enjoy and get your tissues.
So beautiful.
Dr. B and Ms. Gabler.
Good morning, everyone. I am beyond, I have a lot of emotion today. I am very honored to be here to talk about 2 beyond exceptional women, Barbara Davenport and Deb Marinucci. I worked 12 years with both women, and they're women that I admire. Still to this day, I admire both of them. Deb was very creative. Kids would always say, can't we do slime like we do with Mrs. Marinucci? I was like, darn it, She always was very creative, but she'd invite anyone in to do that with her. The guidance department we're very close. So all of us spent time with Deb throughout this whole process. She was very unique. She thought outside the box. And I remember her saying that she wanted death to be a little less taboo. She wanted community to be involved. She wanted people to understand death and the importance it has, even though it is a very sad thing that we all have to deal with at some point in our life, and grief is really hard to handle at times. Deb was also really smart, very caring. She would share with anyone. She has amazing husband Sean and son Nick, and she would talk frequently about them and how much she loved them. I miss Deb every day. Every day I think about her in some way or another. She gave me sneakers that I still wear. I don't have them on right now, but she gave me white sneakers, and I wear them all the time because I feel physically close to her by wearing them. She just did so much stuff and cared so much about people, and it was a very, very beautiful thing. Barb worked for the junior high school. I'm the intermediate school, however, I still did work with Barb. I would go into her health classroom. She would ask us to do a panel, and I really respected that she knew we were professionals. She said, I want the professionals to come in. You're the psychologist, you're the school counselors, you're the social worker, and you know about mental health like no one else. And she got it. And a lot of people don't get it. She got it. She was positive. She was exuberant. Barb could always make me laugh. She had a silly side to her, too. So I could be in a bad mood, and she'd listen, she'd validate, and then she would make me laugh about something very silly, and I would leave feeling much better. And I remember Barb saying, you know, Jacqueline, the guidance department, you're my people. And I said, Barb, you're part of the club. We love you. We've always loved you. We always will love you. And still to this day, with her not being here anymore, we do love her and we miss her and we think about her every day and the positive impact she had on students. And I was glad to be able to work with her and see all that positivity and, upbeat disposition that she had. I don't know where they are, and I don't know what they're doing right now, but I do know this. They're in peace, they're happy, they're doing what they want to do, and life is too short. Make sure you appreciate something every single day. Even if it was a very, very hard day, try to find something that day that made you happy, brought you peace, because that's really important.
Hi, everyone. The thought that occurred to me between the both of them, the common thread between Mrs. Davenport and Mrs. Marinucci, is that with her students, with their students, each and every one of you mattered. And that will, I hope, if anything, as a counselor or a social worker, that I'm able to convey that they came to work every day with the idea and the drive to be of support to their students. That was their top priority, and it just has been an honor, and that's all I really have. So
We love them.
Yes, and we love them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Forney?
Good morning, everybody. I'm dodging bubbles over here. Sorry, hi.
There you go.
I'm dodging bubbles, I said. I am so honored to speak about my dear friend and colleague, Mrs. Barbara Davenport. While I did work with Miss Marinucci as well, and I adored her, I am here specifically to talk about my friend Barb. As I began to think about what I wanted to say this morning, can I move away from this? Sorry. I'm like eating bubbles. Okay. As I began to think about what I wanted to say this morning, I realized that among our students, only the 8th graders had the privilege to know her, and new staff never had it. Oh, I really have to move away. I'm sorry. Is this messing the live stream up if I do this? All right, sorry. I don't feel like eating bubbles for breakfast. Okay. Sorry, to try again. All right. As I began to think about what I wanted to say this morning, I realized that among our students, only the 8th graders had the privilege to know her, and new staff never had the joy of working with her. So I would like to share a little bit about what made Mrs. Davenport so special and so loved. At the junior high, she was an amazing health teacher, an enthusiastic home and careers teacher, and co-advisor of the National Junior Honor Society. She also played a supporting role in coaching field hockey, and I'll let Ms. Simeone take the lead on that part of the story. But she was so much more. Mrs. Davenport was magic. She was kind to everyone, generous with her smile, her time, and her love, encouraging when it was needed most, thoughtful with her words and her actions, and adventurous beyond measure. Mrs. Davenport also had boundless energy. She moved throughout the building so swiftly and joyfully and always with purpose. She was a woman and a teacher who got things done. Mrs. Davenport embraced life with remarkable passion and determination. She loved the outdoors and being in and among nature, and this memorial garden is so fitting. She was an avid hiker and skier and a mountain climber, and I mean she really climbed mountains. According to a very reliable source, her husband, Mr. Davenport, she climbed 35 peaks in the Catskills, all over 3,500 feet. That's 3,500 feet. Can we get a little wow? That's a lot.
Only a wow.
But then listen, then after that, after she accomplished those mountains, she started on the Adirondacks, which are all over 4,600 feet. And she climbed something like 12 to 15 of those. When she wasn't outside climbing mountains, she was hiking and walking everywhere else, including on her family farm. Mrs. Davenport also loved music, traveling, and cooking. Some of my most memorable conversations with her were about the concerts she had been to, or the places and adventures she had experienced with her husband and children, or the big meals she spent days preparing for people she loved. But my favorite part of those stories was how her entire face would light up every time she spoke of her family. She was her happiest when she was with them or speaking of them. I miss Mrs. Davenport more than my words can express, but I will carry her in my heart always. I think of her when I'm listening to music I know she'll like, when I'm walking outside among the trees, when I see a butterfly in flight, or a beautiful skyline or sunset. I smile when I think of how much she loved and embraced every moment and person in her life. She was in it, all in it, and I know she never took 1 second of it for granted. I hope that her spirit will inspire all of you to spend your life being kind, generous, encouraging, thoughtful, adventurous, and grateful. I'm going to end with a poem that Mrs. Davenport shared with me around this time last year that I'd never heard before, but it speaks so truly to who she was and what she believed in, and it speaks to this beautiful garden. It's called The Whisper of Trees by Thackeray. When screens scream loud with fear and fight, and headlines darken day and night, step out where silence softly grows, where wind and water freely flow. The web may paint a world unkind, but nature calms the troubled mind. It asks for nothing, hides no scheme, just birdsong, sunlight, and a dream. So trade the noise for rustling leaves, let go the weight your spirit grieves. For in the stillness you will see, this earth was made to set you free.
Ms. Simeone?
Okay, I don't love microphones, so, and I usually can project my voice, so, Adam, can you hear me in the back? Okay, I'm gonna go without the microphone. Okay, I'm here to talk about both, Deb and Barb. I had the distinct pleasure and honor of working with and knowing and loving, both of them, so I wanted to take time to speak about both of my dear friends. I'm first going to speak about Deb. I first met Deb when she started at the middle school in 2012. Anyone who knows Deb knows that she loved her students and admittingly would say that she liked hanging out with the kids more than adults. We would laugh, and I love that about Deb. It took some time for Deb and I to become close, but when we did, I knew what an amazing human she was. To know Deb was to appreciate the generosity she gave with her time, to listen without judgment, to lend a hand when needed, and to provide comic relief when we truly needed it. She had such a great wit about her, and I so appreciated laughing with her. When Deb and I started working summers together was when we really got to know each other even better. We spent many hours in the quiet of the summer without the students here, working to get the building ready for the next year. What Deb did, though, was beyond her role in the summer, spending countless additional hours that were not required of her to create programs and be ready to serve the kids when they arrived in September. She went above and beyond for our students without any need for recognition. In fact, she shied away from any kind of public display on her behalf. What many people do not know is the amount of her own funds that she spent for her arts, crafts, and projects that she completed with our students year after year. You would go into her room and see the kids with clay, with slime, with glitter, with posters, and the like, creating these masterpieces, all while learning valuable social emotional skills. The programs that she created for our school and the programs she was heavily involved with, like Wingman, were nothing short of amazing for our students. She did all of this with a great spirit. Deb had such a special balance with our students between having compassion and kindness for her students while also teaching them about the responsibilities of being a student, being in class, and owning your responsibilities. I love that about her. Aside from school, Deb opened her home to friends and family and created a beautiful space in her yard to talk, eat, and have a grand old time while hosting many gatherings. Her home was such a loving place to visit where everyone was welcome. Having had the pleasure of working with her and becoming friends with Deb Marinucci has changed my life for the better. Little did I know that back in September of 2012, that the reserved woman who came into the counseling office would touch so many lives the way she did, including mine. Looking back on my time with Deb allows me to remember that I was in the presence of a human who was truly altruistic. She will forever hold a special place in my heart. All right. Okay, I'm going to speak now about Barb Davenport. I first met Barb, and actually when I want to preface this with, I had the distinct pleasure and honor of speaking about Barb after her memorial services at their family farm. And I went back and I read what I had written and what I had spoken about, and I tailored it a little. But this is basically the gist of what I wanted to get across about Barb's impact on me as a human and on our school as well. When I first met Barb, I was coaching her daughter Miranda, who was about 10. And shortly after coaching Miranda, after I started coaching Miranda, Barb started working at our school, and we very quickly became friends. Little did Barb know that towards the end of her career, I was going to rope her into coaching, which she thoroughly enjoyed and the students benefited greatly from. I had no idea when I started coaching Miranda how closely I was going to work with Barb and become such close friends. And for that, I am greatly, forever honored. Barb had a passion for the subjects that she taught, both health and home and career skills equally. Being a part of her husband's family farming business that stems all the way back to 1869, Barb shared a love for culinary in such a way that helped her to weave this knowledge into her food labs that she taught, as well as her health curriculum, to inspire our students to understand health and nutrition on a deeper level. She loved to share this with her students. I was fortunate to be a part of some of the trips that Barb took with her students to the CIA and to Mohawk. I'll always remember her enthusiasm for these trips, pointing out how many of our students may otherwise never have access to the beautiful culinary experience like the CIA or Mohonk, if not for these trips. She was proud to be able to offer these experiences to our students, and you saw the joy that she had observing our students on these special days. Barb also had such a way with our students. She had a genuine compassion and kindness for her students and worked well with some of our most difficult kids. She truly took the mental health of our students to heart as well. I had the privilege to develop a program with her on stress management, mindfulness, and breathing after she and I attended a conference together many years ago. During COVID, we had to take a break from this, and quickly, after the masks were lifted, she reminded me of the importance of this for the kids, and I realized how much I missed working with her energy. Being in her presence inspired me every year. It was our program that we created together, and I will forever value that classroom time that we had together. Barb's students truly loved her. They loved her because she treated every student with the utmost respect. Students felt seen, heard, and understood every time they stepped into her classroom. Every student mattered, even when the students were being challenging. She understood that underneath that behavior was a child who was hurting in some way, and what they needed most from her was patience and empathy, and she provided that. Her relationships with students spoke to what kind of teacher she was. Surely, one of my favorite memories that I will hold dear is the surprise retirement party that her husband Doug asked for my help in organizing. We planned for a couple of months, and with the help from Kevin Tuttle, we pulled it off. It was an amazing tribute to Barb and her career that she had here at Roundup Valley, and it was beautiful to see her mill around to talk with so many beloved colleagues. I am so grateful that she had that experience. Barb's passing has impacted me deeply. A day does not go by that I don't think of her often. I remind myself that she was one of the most positive, glass half full people that I have ever met, and her example is everlasting. I am forever grateful to my friend, and I will try to honor her spirit the rest of my days by living life to the fullest, as I know she would want for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Safiori?
So I work with both Deb and Barb. Love and miss both of them dearly. I am here to speak about Barb Davenport. I've had the privilege of working with her for nearly 10 years, and I can honestly say that I truly enjoyed every opportunity to work with her. She brought incredible energy and passion to everything she did. She cared deeply about her teaching, her students, and her colleagues. Most importantly, she genuinely wanted to help people. What I will always remember about her is that during difficult times, she would often seek me out just to check on me and ask how I was doing. She never did it for recognition, she simply cared. That was who she was. In a profession where we spend more time together than we often do with our own families, she understood the importance of taking care of one another. She never forgot to check in, offer support, or remind people that they mattered. As we remember her today, I hope we can honor that example by continuing to take care of each other. Her passing just shortly after retirement is a reminder to all of us not to wait to retirement to live our lives. Through the many conversations I had with her, I'd like to think she understood that well. She enjoyed spending time with her family and friends, staying active, seeking out adventures, and simply sharing simple acts of kindness, like baking bread for others. As we dedicate this garden today, it serves as a beautiful reminder of the seeds she planted in so many lives. Her kindness, dedication, and caring spirit will continue to grow in the students she taught and the people who were fortunate enough to know her. She will be greatly missed and fondly remembered. Thank you. Mr. Cutler?
I want to thank the Davenport family and Sean and Nick who are here. We so appreciate you being part of this important ceremony today. I am going to be very brief because so much has been said already, and I want to give an opportunity to the students to speak their words. Ms. Marinucci and I, because I worked much more closely with her, we were partners in crime, you could say. If she had a crazy idea, I would support it. If I had a crazy idea, she would support it. And for years we worked together. Ms. Marinucci is the person who brought the Fall Festival to the school, the Wingman program, and so many other things. If you walk into the vestibule of the building, Sean will remember that one summer day, he and her painted the words that are on there that greet you as you come into the building. Another day, I found the two of them back at the gazebo, weeding it, clearing it out. The most difficult time that Deb had at the school, we shared together, and that was COVID. We wanted to come back so badly, and she was so excited when she could come back and see all of you. Love Deb, love working with her, and I think the students will speak much better than I can ever. So I turn it over to y'all.
Emma and Lila.
Hi everyone. If you don't know us, I'm Emma Bogart.
And I'm Lila Hoffman. We are so honored to be here to speak for the help Ms. Marinucci gave us. When we heard that she passed, we thought we wouldn't be able to.
Even though it took some time, we realized that her passing meant she wouldn't be suffering, and she would be happy. I bet right now she is looking over us and saying, I'm so proud of the young adults these kids are becoming. Ms. Marinucci was a big part of our life. If it weren't for Ms. Marinucci, me and Lila wouldn't be friends.
Ms. Marinucci helped us with a lot of things we thought we wouldn't be able to get past, yet we did because of her. We will always remember you and the things you taught us.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Ryan? Okay, I'm gonna read for Ryan. Mrs. Marinucci was helpful, nice, and funny to me, and lots of kids thought she was funny. She was always nice to me, nice enough to throw me a baseball-themed birthday party last year. It made me feel so grateful, and I even got to invite my friends. She also gave me squishy toys when I was stressed out, and let me play mini basketball in her room. I always had the best time when she was here. I miss her, and I wish she was here today. Sincerely, Ryan. Eleanor?
When I went into 4th grade, it was my first year in public school. Before that, I went to a private Montessori school an hour away. And right when I got there, on the first day, Ms. Marinucci was standing at the doors to the lecture hall. I gave her a hug, and from that moment on, I knew that I was going to be able to have the best year possible. I wish I was at Rondout longer, and I wish I knew, even before 4th grade, I wish I knew Ms. Marinucci, because she would have been the light in my life and would have helped me through everything. And I really, really, really miss her, and I wish that she was here. But I think that even though she's not here with us right now, I believe that her spirit is with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Eleanor. Natalie?
Hi, my name is Natalie. Miss Marinucci was a very important person in my life. I remember when I was in 4th grade and I took walks around the loop and I would stop in her room downstairs. She had these cards that said a color that I had to find. This helped me calm down. I remember when there was a lot of drama and she always helped me. Every Friday, Miss Marinucci showed me strategies to help me work out difficult situations. She always helped with my anxiety and ADHD. She knew all of my problems. She was always there for me. I remember when I brought my baby dolls and she always wanted to hold one. I know we all miss her and she probably misses us. When I found out she passed away, all I did was cry. I did not know how would I complete 5th grade, but I made it through the things she taught me. She is proud of us. I love you, Miss Marinucci. We all miss you very much, especially my grandma and me.
Thank you, Natalie. Olivia and Hudson.
In honoring Miss Marinucci, me and Hudson wanted to share a few words and memories. She has done so much for our school, like every Spirit Week was helped and planned by her, and she brought students closer, like me and Hudson. She helped me and many other students through so much. She brought so much joy to our school, even though she was struggling. We all love Miss Marinucci very much, and she's a great person.
In honor of Miss Marinucci, I want to share some memories that she made in this school because she made everyone happy. She believed that everyone should be kind and respectful, and I hope she knows how much she made a difference in this school and people's lives forever. We miss you a lot, Miss Marinucci.
Thank you, girls. Maddie?
Hi, my name is Maddie, and when I think of Miss Marinucci, there are a few words that come to my mind. Kind, loving, caring, and thoughtful. Even when she was going through her tough times, she was still able to help us through ours. The claymaking project I did with her brought us joy and laughter, and brought us closer and closer together. The students at our school were so lucky to have her in their lives.
Thank you. Devin and Mariah?
Hi, my name is Devin, and I'm here to talk about Miss Davenport and Miss Marinucci. They both were amazing people and a big part of my life. I still have a plushie that I made with Miss Marinucci, and I will always have it. She was a big part of my life because she always knew how to cheer me up and make me feel better. Miss Davenport was an amazing health teacher and always will be in my heart. I remember how fun she made my class and how she would always help me. I miss both of them and may they rest in peace forever in our hearts.
Hi, my name is Mariah. Miss Davenport and Miss Marinucci were a big part of my life, whether it was Miss Marinucci helping me when things got rough or Miss Davenport helping me with a bunch of extra credit and missing assignments. They both helped a lot with my mental health and just everything in general. Miss Davenport was always making sure I was doing okay, even if she was going through her own things. Their passing has definitely played a big role in my life and in school, not seeing them walking in the halls or just seeing the rooms empty.
Miss Davenport always knew how to make someone laugh. The way she knew how to encourage people was magic. She was always smiling and happy, but she was the happiest when talking about her family and the people she loved. She loved going skiing and hiking and was always ready to get out and do something. May they both rest in peace in our hearts.
Thank you very much. Luke? Aiden?
Hello, my name is Aiden. Miss Davenport was a great person, and I would like to say a few words about her. She was my favorite health teacher, and she taught me a lot about the human body and how it works. She always made class fun. She really cared about her students. I truly miss her.